Think winter means your garden has to sleep. Think again, right now in the heart of January is the perfect time to sow these 15 incredibly cold-hardy crops. They laugh at frost, sweeten up in the cold, and give you fresh harvests when nothing else is growing. Today on Plantify Daily, discover the winter sowing secrets that smart gardeners use for earlier, tastier spring crops, and some you can harvest all winter long. Let's get sowing. Winter sowing takes advantage of natural cold stratification. Many seeds actually need chill hours to germinate strongly. Here's the magic: frost sweetens brassicas and root crops by converting their starches into sugars. That means better flavor and tenderness. You'll also face fewer pests since most insects are dormant and you're making use of garden space that would otherwise sit empty. Best of all, you'll enjoy harvests weeks or even months ahead of gardeners who wait for spring. No greenhouse needed, just soil, seeds, and optional simple protection like row covers or cold frames. First up is the champion of cold-hardy greens, kale. This superstar survives temperatures well below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and here's the incredible part: it actually gets sweeter after hard frosts. The cold triggers kale to produce natural sugars as a protective antifreeze. Sow seeds directly into prepared beds right now, even if there's frost in the forecast. Plant them 1/4 inch deep and about 3 inches apart. Varieties like Winterbur, Lacinato, and Red Russian are particularly frost-tough. You can start harvesting baby leaves in about 25 days or wait 50 to 60 days for full-sized leaves. Pick from the bottom up and your kale will keep producing all winter and into spring. Next crop is spinach. Spinach is one of the absolute toughest greens you can grow, thriving in temperatures down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit without protection. It's perfect for winter sowing because it actually prefers cool soil for germination. Plant seeds 1/2 inch deep in rows about 6 inches apart. Spinach grows quickly in cool weather. You can harvest tender baby leaves in just 3 to 4 weeks. Varieties like Bloomstill Long-Standing and Winter Giant are bred specifically for cold climates. The leaves stay tender and mild-flavored when grown in winter, unlike the bitter taste that can develop in summer heat. Keep harvesting outer leaves, and your spinach patch will provide fresh greens throughout the coldest months. Next crop is garlic. January might seem late for garlic, but in many climates you can still get it in the ground. Garlic actually requires a cold period called vernalization to form those big segmented bulbs we love. Without winter chill, you'll only get rounds instead of cloves. Plant individual cloves pointy end up, about 2 inches deep and 6 inches apart. Choose hardneck varieties for cold climates. They're more frost-tolerant and produce those delicious curly scapes in late spring. Your garlic won't show much action above ground during winter, but underground it's developing a strong root system. Come spring, you'll see green shoots emerge, and by midsummer you'll harvest full heads of homegrown garlic that's more flavorful than anything from the store. Next on our crop is leeks. Leeks are incredibly cold-hardy and can overwinter as seedlings to give you thick, mild stalks by spring. If you start seeds indoors now or purchase transplants, you can set them out in about 6 to 8 weeks. Leeks can tolerate temperatures down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and cold weather makes them sweeter and more tender. Plant them in trenches about 6 inches deep, which you'll gradually fill in as they grow. This blanches the stalks white and mild. Space them about 6 inches apart. The key with winter leeks is protecting their growing points with mulch or row covers during the harshest cold snaps. By early spring, you'll be harvesting thick, succulent leeks perfect for soups and roasting when other vegetables are just getting started. Next, we have onions and scallions. Winter-hardy onion sets and scallion seeds are perfect for January planting. Scallions, also called green onions or spring onions, are especially quick and cold-tolerant. Sow seeds 1/2 inch deep and 1 inch apart. They'll germinate even in cold soil. For bulbing onions, plant sets or transplants of short-day or intermediate-day varieties, which are triggered to bulb up by the lengthening days of late winter and spring. Space these about 4 inches apart. Both scallions and onions can handle frost and even light freezes. You can start harvesting scallions in as little as 60 days for that fresh, mild onion flavor. They're perfect for salads, stir-fries, and garnishes. The bulbing onions will be ready to harvest in late spring to early summer, giving you homegrown onions months ahead of schedule. Crop 6, we have radishes. Radishes are the speed demons of the winter garden, crisp, colorful, and incredibly fast-growing. They can tolerate frost down to about 25 degrees Fahrenheit, and they actually prefer the cool soil of winter, which keeps them from getting woody or overly spicy. Sow seeds directly into prepared soil, about ½ inch deep and 1 inch apart, in rows 6 inches apart. You'll see sprouts in just 3 to 5 days, even in cold weather. Most radish varieties are ready to harvest in just 3 to 4 weeks. Winter radishes stay mild and crisp rather than developing that sharp, hot bite they can have in warm weather. Try varieties like Cherry Belle for classic red radishes or French Breakfast for an elongated, milder type. They're perfect for adding crunch to winter salads. Crop 7, we have carrots. Carrots sown in winter become incredibly sweet, some of the best tasting carrots you'll ever grow. They can tolerate temperatures down to the low 20s, and frost actually converts their starches into sugars, making them candy sweet. Sow seeds directly into loose, rock-free soil about a ¼ inch deep. Carrot seeds can be slow to germinate in cold soil, taking 2 to 3 weeks, so be patient. For winter growing, try shorter varieties like Napoli, Mokum, or Paris Market, which mature faster. If you have a cold frame or row cover, germination will be faster and more reliable. Once established, carrots are remarkably frost-hardy. You can harvest baby carrots in about 50 days or wait 70 to 80 days for full-sized roots. The sweetness that develops in cold-grown carrots is absolutely worth the wait. Our crop 8 is collard greens. Collard greens are absolute winter warriors, standing strong through freezes that would devastate most vegetables. They can survive temperatures down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit and actually taste better after frost exposure. The cold breaks down some of the bitter compounds, leaving you with tender, sweet greens. Sow seeds about ½ inch deep and 18 inches apart. Collard get large and need room to spread. You can start harvesting the lower leaves in about 60 days, while the plant continues growing from the center. This cut-and-come-again harvest method means one planting can supply your kitchen for months. Collard are packed with nutrients, especially when grown in cold weather, which concentrates their vitamins and minerals. They're perfect for braising, sautéing, or adding to soups and stews during the cold months. Next crop is Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts might take patience, but their flavor peaks after cold snaps, making winter harvest absolutely worthwhile. They can tolerate temperatures down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and frost transforms them from slightly bitter to sweet and nutty. If you're starting from seed now, start them indoors and transplant in about 6 weeks. Space plants 24 inches apart, they grow tall stalks with sprouts forming along the stem. Brussels sprouts need about 90 to 100 days to mature, but that cold weather development time is what creates the best flavor. As temperatures drop, the sprouts tighten up and sweeten. Harvest from the bottom of the stalk upward, twisting off each sprout when it's about 1 inch in diameter. Winter-harvested Brussels sprouts roasted with olive oil are a completely different and delicious experience from store-bought versions. Here again we have broccoli. Cold-tolerant broccoli varieties thrive in winter conditions, giving you extended harvests of both main heads and delicious side shoots. Broccoli can handle temperatures down to about 25 degrees Fahrenheit, and cool weather keeps the heads tight and prevents premature flowering. Start seeds indoors now or purchase transplants and set them out in about 4 to 6 weeks, spacing plants 18 inches apart. Choose varieties specifically bred for cold tolerance like Winter Dome or Belstar. The main head will be ready to harvest in about 60 to 80 days. Cut it while the buds are still tight and before any yellow flowers appear. Here's the bonus: after you harvest the main head, the plant will continue producing smaller side shoots for weeks or even months. These tender side shoots are just as delicious and keep your broccoli harvests going all winter long. Next up is arugula. Arugula is a fast-growing, peppery green that thrives in winter's chill. It can tolerate frost down to about 25 degrees Fahrenheit, and in mild winter climates it will self-sow and come back year after year. Scatter seeds directly onto prepared soil and barely cover them. They need light to germinate. Space them about 1 inch apart or broadcast them and thin later. Arugula germinates quickly, even in cool soil, and you can start harvesting baby leaves in just 3 weeks. The cold weather keeps arugula's flavor perfectly balanced, peppery but not overwhelmingly spicy like it can be in hot weather. It's fantastic in salads, on pizzas, mixed into pasta, or as a fresh garnish. Keep harvesting outer leaves, and the plants will continue producing. One sowing can provide fresh arugula for your entire winter. Next crop on the list is Swiss chard. Swiss chard brings beautiful color to the winter garden with its vibrant stems in red, yellow, orange, and white, and it's surprisingly cold hardy, tolerating temperatures down to about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Sow seeds actually seed clusters, about 1 inch deep and 6 inches apart. Each seed cluster produces multiple seedlings, so you'll need to thin to the strongest one. Chard germinates well in cool soil and grows steadily through winter, especially under row covers or in cold frames. You can start harvesting outer leaves in about 50 to 60 days, cutting them while leaving the growing center intact. The plants will keep producing new leaves from the center for months. Chard holds up remarkably well through light snow and frost, and both the leaves and colorful stems are delicious sautéed, added to soups, or used in gratins. Rainbow chard makes your winter garden beautiful and productive at the same time. Crop 13 is turnips. Turnips are a double-duty winter crop. Both the roots and the greens are edible, and both get sweeter in cold weather. They can tolerate frost down to about 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Sow seeds directly into soil about ½ an inch deep and 3 inches apart. Turnips grow quickly, with baby turnips ready in just 30 to 40 days, or wait 50 to 60 days for full-sized roots. The cold converts starches to sugars, making winter turnips mild and sweet instead of sharp and bitter. The greens are also fantastic. Harvest them young and tender for salads or sauté them like other cooking greens. Try varieties like Hacuré for tender, sweet white turnips you can eat raw, or Purple Top for classic storage turnips. They're perfect for roasting, mashing, adding to stews, or pickling. One crop gives you multiple harvests and uses. Crop 14 is Mâche corn salad. Mâche, also called corn salad or lamb's lettuce, is one of the most cold-hardy salad greens you can grow, thriving in temperatures well below freezing, down to about 10 degrees Fahrenheit. This delicate, buttery green is a winter specialty in Europe and deserves more attention here. Scatter seeds directly onto soil and barely cover them, or broadcast them in wide rows. Mâche grows slowly in winter but steadily, forming small rosettes of tender, spoon-shaped leaves. You can start harvesting in about 60 days, cutting entire rosettes at soil level. The flavor is mild, sweet, and nutty, perfect for winter salads when other greens are scarce. Mâche will often self-sow if you let a few plants go to seed, giving you an ongoing supply. It's frost-proof, low-maintenance, and adds a gourmet touch to your winter harvests. Crop 15 is actually sow right now, peas. Snow peas and snap peas are cold hardy and can tolerate frost down to about 25 degrees Fahrenheit. They actually prefer to germinate in cool soil, under protection like a cold frame, hoop house, or even a sunny south-facing wall. You can sow pea seeds now and get a jump on spring. Plant seeds 1 to 2 inches deep and 2 inches apart, providing a trellis or support for them to climb. Peas grow slowly through winter, but will explode with growth as days lengthen in late winter and early spring. You'll be harvesting sweet, crispy pods weeks before gardeners who wait until March or April to plant. Try varieties like Oregon Sugar Pod for snow peas or Sugar Snap for thick, crunchy snap peas. There's nothing quite like fresh peas from the garden in early spring, and winter sowing makes it possible. Here are your essential tips for winter sowing success. First, work your soil when it's not frozen solid. Wait for a mild day or prepare beds ahead of time. Add compost to improve drainage and provide nutrients without burning seeds in cold soil. Second, consider protection. Row covers, cold frames, hoop houses, or even the milk jug method, cutting plastic jugs in half to create mini greenhouses, can extend your season and speed germination. Third, water carefully. Seeds need moisture to germinate, but overwatering in cold soil can cause rot. Water in the morning so excess moisture evaporates during the day. Fourth, mulch strategically around plants but not over seeds. Mulch insulates and protects roots once plants are established. Finally, be patient. Germination and growth are slower in winter, but that's okay. Your plants are building strong root systems and natural cold tolerance. Trust the process and you'll be rewarded with earlier, tastier harvests. There you have it, 15 cold hardy crops you can sow right now in January for fresh winter harvests and earlier spring abundance. Winter doesn't mean the end of gardening, it's just a different, magical season to grow. If you found this helpful, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Plantify Daily for more seasonal gardening guides, and drop a comment telling us which crop you're most excited to try. Now get out there and sow some winter magic. Happy gardening!